3 things you can do this week. Keep ticks off your yard, your kids, your pets, and your skin. The cheapest one costs $3. It keeps working for years. I will show you the one-time fix that turns your garden edge into a wall ticks cannot cross. The spray I mix myself in 3 minutes for $3 instead of $30. And a bonus at the end that most gardeners have never heard of and that attacks the tick problem at the source most people never think about. Here is why this matters more than most people realize. Lyme disease cases have tripled in 15 years, and there is a second condition most people have never heard of: alpha-gal syndrome. One bite from a Lone Star tick triggers a severe allergy to red meat and dairy that stays with you for life. One bite. And here is the number that should stop you. A single female tick lays up to 6,000 eggs in her lifetime. If you see one tick on your property, you do not have one tick. You have a colony in waiting. Ticks do not wait in the middle of your lawn. They wait where your kids play, at the lawn edge, in the long grass by the fence, in the undergrowth the dog runs into. It is almost never the adults who get bitten first. And here is the mistake I made for years. I was mowing the lawn thinking I was doing something. I was treating the wrong place. Ticks live in leaf litter, shaded fence lines, and the transition zone where your lawn meets the woods. That is where 90% of tick encounters happen. Here is the fix that lasts years and costs almost nothing to maintain. A 3-foot wide band of wood chips along every edge where your lawn meets wooded ground. A fence line or a garden border, 3 inches deep. That is the entire installation. Here is why it works. Ticks desiccate easily. They need humidity to survive. Crossing a dry strip of open wood chips is extremely difficult for them. The Connecticut Agricultural Experiment Station confirmed that a barrier like this significantly reduces tick movement from wooded edges into maintained lawn areas. One application, years of protection. I top mine up every 2 or 3 years. That is it. For a typical garden, you are looking at 1 or 2 bags from any garden center. But here is the part that surprised me. Call your local tree surgeon. Arborists pay to dump wood chips at landfills. Most will deliver a full load to your driveway for free if you catch them on a job nearby. My entire barrier cost me nothing. That is your permanent fix. Now here is where it gets better. The barrier stops ticks entering from outside. But what about the ones already in your yard? And what about when you step into long grass before the barrier is even laid? That is where the spray comes in. And I have not bought a commercial tick spray in 2 years. Here is the part the garden centers do not advertise. Cedarwood oil disrupts tick respiration through the tiny breathing holes on the sides of their bodies. They dehydrate and die within hours of contact. This is the same mechanism that has kept cedar chests moth-free for 200 years. USDA researchers confirmed it works on black-legged ticks, dog ticks, and Lone Star ticks. Commercial cedar oil sprays sell for $20 to $30 a bottle. My version costs about $3 per batch and uses the exact same active ingredient. Here is what I use: 1 teaspoon of Cedarwood Essential Oil, 1 cup of distilled water, 1 tablespoon of Witch Hazel to emulsify. I add 5 drops of lavender oil. It boosts the repellent effect and makes the spray genuinely pleasant to use. Shake before use. Pour into any spray bottle. I spray the garden perimeter, fence lines, and log piles every 2 weeks. My shoes and trouser legs before yard work. My dog's collar before walks. Never directly on cats. They metabolize essential oils differently. A $12 bottle of Cedarwood Essential Oil makes 16 batches and covers an entire season. 80% cheaper than the bottled version for the same compound. I have not looked back. And here is the part most people skip entirely. I did it for 3 years before I figured it out. I was spraying, I was mulching, and the ticks kept coming back to the exact same spots every single season. The reason had nothing to do with the plants or the spray. It was the conditions I was leaving in place. Ticks return to the same locations because conditions there suit them. Shade, moisture, leaf litter. Change those conditions and you change the equation. Remove leaf litter from areas where your family spends time. Ticks overwinter in it. Larvae hatch through summer. I cleared the leaf litter along my back fence last autumn. The difference in spring was immediate. Trim trees and shrubs to let sunlight reach the ground. Dry, sunny soil is hostile territory for ticks. Every patch of shade you open up is ground you take back. Keep playground equipment and seating areas away from lawn edges and tree lines. Most tick encounters happen within 3 meters of the transition zone. Move where people spend time. Move the risk. And here is the bonus most gardeners have never heard of. It attacks the tick problem at the source that almost nobody thinks about. Most people assume deer bring ticks into the garden. Deer do carry ticks, but they are not where most ticks get infected. The real source is mice. Ticks hatch as larvae, and their first blood meal is almost always that is where they pick up the Lyme bacteria. A single mouse can infect dozens of tick larvae in one season. Reduce the infected mouse population, and you reduce infected ticks. Here is how to do it without harming the mice. You take small cardboard tubes, the kind inside a paper towel roll. Stuff them with cotton wool treated with permethrin, a pesticide that is safe for mammals but lethal to ticks. Place the tubes along fence lines, log piles, and garden edges. Mice collect the cotton for nesting material. The permethrin kills every tick on the mouse without touching the mouse itself. The Connecticut Agricultural Experiment Station developed this method. Commercial versions are sold under names like Thermacell Tick Control. Or you can make your own for almost nothing. The barrier stops ticks at the edge. The spray handles the ones that get through. The habitat work removes the conditions they need. And the mouse tubes cut off the infection cycle at its source. 4 layers. Ticks lose every round.